Were you an athlete, school teacher, or maybe worked in a corporate world? Our careers, they tend to be the way that we identify ourselves. Now, what happens when that identity is taken from you? We found ours in real estate. Now, let us help you find yours on the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast, starting now.
Welcome to the Free Agent REI Podcast. I'm your host, Stratton Brown.
And I am your other host, Michael Butler. Man, thank you guys for joining us. I was going to keep going, but I think I lost my train of thought.
Man, and for Sal never gets his shit right. We're fine. We're fine, bro.
You doing all right, man. How's it going, man? How you doing?
Man, I mean, handling stress.
Yeah.
Restructuring some things. The one thing, right, to where, again, like I paid people a lot of money to tell me what to do in my life as far as like where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And like the number one thing that's holding me back right now, believe it or not, is my ego. Even though it's like the biggest reason of where I am.
Yeah.
Number one thing holding me back is my ego. To where I'm sitting there talking to him. I'm like, well, this fucker, and this fucker are doing it. Fuck them. I'm better. I can do it.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, like, so their business acumen, and not even business acumen. He's like, you know, they've been in business like 5 times longer than you, 2 times longer than you, like 4 times longer than you. Like, he's like naming off the years of business.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, I'm Stratton Brown. Yeah. Like, and that's the mentality that's gotten me to where I am, towards like it doesn't serve me.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't. He's like, you're being irrational, right? Like I said, most of these calls are like, tell me not to be a psychopath.
Well, so and that's kind of the discussion that we had, right? We talked about like a lot of our gifts sometimes, and why what makes us successful can also be the reason why we're not successful. And so you paying a coach and a phenomenal coach, right? Like you've paid someone who has tremendous experience, who has made a lot of money, who's lost a lot of money, plenty of businesses that either worked or didn't work. And so like you've grown to where you were because of great, kind of crazy, right? Right? You're kind of crazy. But you've also, at that point, you've grown to the part to where you've paid someone to be able to help you make great decisions based off of their experience. So when they tell you to just
do something,
fuck your ego, right? That's what you paid to have this person tell you exactly what they just told you.
Right. And on most of the things he's told me lately, it's like been a massive pushback.
Mm-hmm.
And like from me, not from him, from me, like a massive pushback from Stratton Brown.
Yeah.
And like I'll go like a month at a time without talking to this guy. Like, but like then when I need to talk to him, like this is when it's amazing, and he fucking challenges all of your beliefs of what are you doing. And the number one thing he asked me was like, what do I want? And then again, I was dumbfounded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be the fucking best. I want to bury everybody. He was like, bro, it's not good enough. You know how broad that is?
No, broad. Yeah.
He was like, you know how broad? Like, so what does it look like? What's with you? What does your life look like? Like, what do you actually want? And that has been something that has been troubling me and puzzling me for the last like week or so.
Yeah.
To where like you really don't know what you want. Like I like what I do. I like building businesses. I like building teams. I like sales. I like marketing. Mm-hmm. And I love Legos and I love Minecraft. If that puts anything into context for you, right? Like that's what I like to do.
Okay.
But it's been, I'd say, one of the biggest mental barriers I've had to overcome. Again, now is like, okay, so you say you want X amount of money, but like, yeah, that's cool. But like, what does it look like? How are you going to get there? Like all of those other good things to where that is kind of wild to think about.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's some deep shit, bro. Like I don't, I mean, just to guys, just to give you an idea of just like how stressed my man is. Every time we come into the studio, the first thing I walk in, I'm like, bro, it's fucking hot in here. Turn the heat off. And this was in the summer, mind you. So even a couple weeks ago, he turned the heat on because he's always cold. And today we're in here, and I'm like, man, ain't no heat on. Like, you know, it's a little cool. You know, we ain't got no hoodies on or nothing like that, but it's a little cool. It's like perfect, kind of how I like it. I'm a bigger guy. And he's like, am I the only one in here that's hot? I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because like it, you know, we're on the chilly side of things. So like the fact that you always got the heat on when it's freaking already hot in here, and you ask me if it's hot and if I'm warm, Like that was wild to me. So you got a lot of stuff on your chest, man.
Right. I mean, I got a decent amount of shit going on, but again, it's growing pains. It's good, and that's the first thing. I encourage everybody to get a mentor. Number one, to shortcut to skills. I think is the number one thing, right? Like if I want to learn a new skill and I can pay someone X amount, just to like, hey, no, don't go learn yourself. You can just go do it. Like here's how I did it.
And that's what I told you. And that's why I told you. I'm like, hey, bro, like there's somebody that's at some point we prayed for issues and problems and stress, not stress, but you know what I mean? Like to have this level of stress or whatever it may be, it takes growth. And so there was a point in time to where, you know, we'd look in the mirror and like pray for days like that. You know, right now it's hard to be, you know, look at it and be like, man, these are the kind of problems I wanted, right? But the problems that you had before were completely different. Right. So someone out there wants the problems that you have.
For me, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. That still doesn't solve my fucking problem.
That's fine. Like, but a lot of it is also mental.
I think, and most of it now, I'd say, it's weird, right? Like most of my problems are mental. To where it's not like financial really anymore. Yeah. It's just like mental problems and like breaking through new limiting beliefs.
It's emotional. It's emotional problems that you having at this point in time. Like you're like, the stress that you have is for emotional reasons. And when we talk about business, you got to remove the emotions out of it.
I'd say that's one of the harder things in business, where I try and be like cutthroat. But at the same time, like you still, like you care for the people, right? And like we can go into firing to where I'll fire off. We fire off a lot of people every week, right? Just because like people don't cut it. But then when they get like into your team and and it's like your day-to-day interaction, that's when it's like really testing you. And like you really have to, what's the word? You got to weigh the collective still. Like, yeah, like fuck them. Like there's a lot of other people who are relying on them and they're just not cutting it. We need to find someone else who can do it.
So I look at it this way, right? You know, we both got, you know, businesses with, you know, people who work with us, work in our business, things like that. And it all comes down to, it's almost like a marriage, right? Yeah. Any company that you have as a business owner, it's like a marriage. And so when you talk about that, you have to look at it like you're married, you got kids. And right now you in your marriage, you guys haven't been good for a few years. And you just you're holding on to the marriage because you got kids. But what the kids see is just what's toxic.
Right.
The shit's not working, but the parents are so afraid of just getting a divorce because they're trying to hold it together for the kids, not realizing that it's actually better for the kids for the divorce to actually take place.
That's why I didn't stay with Zeno's mom, because like it was a shit show. And I was like, I don't want to raise him in a shit show. Yeah. Like if we aren't happy together, there's no point in that. Like why would we stay miserable? Like,
because at some point you guys have a great relationship.
Oh yeah.
And I tell people all the time, we would never work in a relationship because like we're too much alike. You know what I mean? And so like you can heavily fuck with somebody and not be with them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And have an awesome relationship. And so I think like that's how, when you look at some businesses, like people grow apart. Some people grow, some people don't grow, whatever that may be. Same thing like with marriage. You know, that's a discussion to be had. And don't think of it as the people that's involved with that relationship. Like sometimes relationships need to end in betterment for those people.
Oh yeah. Shout out Jake. What are some indicators that you're letting your emotions get in the way of your business?
When your first reason of not wanting to do something is because you care about someone else or the thought of what somebody else would think. It's no longer based off of production, income, systems and shit. If it works, right? It's not based off of results. It's based off of how you feel about something, right? Yeah, it's not based off of data. It's based off of the emotions of upsetting someone or hurting someone's feelings, things like that. Like if you can't prove it, bro, like it like at the end of the day, like it's black or white when it comes to business. There's no gray.
This is why I'm so big on data, not drama. Because even though I am cutthroat, like at a time, like then you can't even feel comfortable with your decision because you're always going to get pushback.
100%.
You're always going to get pushback. And if you can be like, okay, no, here's the numbers. Looking at this, tell me why the fuck we should keep you here.
Would you keep yourself?
Would you keep yourself?
You can't do that if you don't have no data.
Exactly.
Because then at that point, it seems like it's an emotional decision. You're letting me go because you don't like the way that I pushed back in this instance or that I stood up for myself. No, we're letting you go because of this.
And fuck, if you did push back, you got attitude problems, and it's not worth my fucking headaches.
But at least you can put it on something else, right? You got some,
right?
you got some data.
But if you have bad data, you got fucking attitude problems,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm sure there's something else. You don't show up on time one time.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's time.
And that's why, like, as football coaches, like when we get a lot of like scrutiny from like parents or just people in the stands and stuff like that, what I love the most about it is, bro, it all comes down to, hey, we got film. We can always hop on a Zoom call. You can always come sit down with me. We can look at exactly what it is. I'll tell you what the play is. I'll tell you what their assignment is. And from that point, you tell me if you play that kid.
That's hard as a football coach. That's why I'd never want to coach Little League.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I'd be okay, well, how many plays did you make? How many tackles do you have? Like,
honestly, I don't give a shit. And I've said it during the practice. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck about your feelings. We can talk about that outside of football. But like, you have to really, and it all comes down with like in a business, you talk about core values, right? Same thing on a football team. What's our goals? What are we looking to accomplish this year?
Yep.
Right. And so we have a team now, and it's just like their goal is to win Valley Championship. And I'm telling you, I mean, we're good enough to fucking do it.
Are you at North? Clovis?
I'm at Clovis High. Don't ever disrespect me like that. We just beat North.
Did you really?
Yes.
Well, who is it? Parnagian's kid.
I don't know. I don't know nobody over there. So, you know what I mean? So anything that I do or when just coaching, it's just like it's a child. Like you don't know shit about shit. You don't know shit about shit. You want to win a championship? Have you won one already? You haven't. I have. And this is how we did it. So when I'm telling you to finish through a line, I'm telling you to not jump off the all these little things, all those little things that you don't think is important. That was the difference between a 3-7 team and a freaking Mountain West Championship team. That was the difference. The little shit.
Legitimately. But the only thing is, like, when you say that, right, I feel like I'm listening to my old coach who was like outdated and didn't adjust with the times.
Oh, but football, see, but here's the thing. That shit don't, like, I get the kids change for football, but the way that you win as a team, that shit's the same.
Yes.
So you can say that, yes, they're a little bit more sensitive, or yes, we don't run kids into the ground, but football is discipline. Football is very military-ish because you can't have two people carry you to win a championship.
No, like you can't. It's not like basketball.
It's not like basketball. It's not like baseball where you can have a pitcher who can come in and freaking hit dingers and go shut people out. Football, it relies on everybody.
Right. Well, and it's so easy to get exposed to. Like if you have a bad left guard, you can just set up stunts to fucking get the matchup you want and fuck them up all the time.
And if you have good coaches, you can protect that weakness too. You know what I mean? To an extent. You know what I'm saying? But it takes buy-in. It takes people being on the same page, having the same goal. Because if we don't have the same goal, then there's no way that we can get there.
Yeah.
Because you got to care just as much as the next person. So the biggest thing is clarifying what's our goal? Where are we trying to get? You know, and then what happened is we had some losses that we shouldn't have had. And we go back and we look at it, and it's practice habits. Like, where have you, like these couple plays is why we didn't win. Where have we ever coached on that?
But that's on you. Like,
in practice habits? No. You can't want it more than kids want it. You can only do so much. Like, you can tell a quarterback to pull a ball on his own based off of his read, but I can't go pull the ball for him in the game.
So what do you mean by practice habits then?
It's like, practice habits, the little things, jogging off the field, jogging on the field.
I feel like that's on the coach to enforce it.
Yes, to an extent. But it becomes, again, if we have the same common goal on our championship team, we handled that as players. At some point, they have to take over it.
Yes, I'll give you
that. A coach can't be on you, though. Like, if it has to be that way, it's not important enough to you, which means at some point in the game, it'll show up in the game.
That's what.
But those things is we can teach you these things, and we can tell you how it should handle. I can tell you, hey, let's go jog off the field. Hey, jog on the field. Hey, no walking, don't walk. You know what I mean? Like all those little things. But at some point, someone has to tell someone, hey, bro, you got to fucking show up or you got to run.
So is it then you haven't developed the leaders on your team to hold other people accountable?
Yes.
Okay. Like, I mean, that's what it turns into, right? That's what's hard about JUCO football. Mm-hmm. You only have people who are going to be there for like 1 to 2 years. There's no leadership. And COVID didn't help. Yeah.
You know, because we got a senior team with only 6 games of experience from last year. You know, so the seniors that we have on this team, they played. A couple of them played as sophomores extensively, but you know, what's your sophomore year like? Really, like that's a blur. it happens so fast. Your junior year is really the most productive year you have as a football player. So you take that away and you get 6 games. That just goes.
Do you guys get a full season this year?
You get a full season this year in playoffs.
Are you guys gonna win it or what? Like, what's it looking like? Are you guys in the playoffs?
As of now, we are.
How many more games you got left?
Probably like 5. We're like 4-2.
Bro, I stayed
5
up
and 2.
I stayed up and
4-2.
watched that Fresno State game and lost my shit.
Hawaii.
Against Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was so pissed I woke Kalani up. They fucking lost.
I told my father-in-law that's the worst. That's the worst. I said that's the worst place to go lose in Hawaii. And then I said I didn't realize how spoiled I sound right now when I say that. I said, but you can't charter a plane out of Hawaii. I'm like, so you're in the airport.
It's hard to go to Hawaii and win though. Like they win a lot of home games because
they're a good team.
But you're always thrown out of your mental. You're in Hawaii.
And most people haven't been to Hawaii.
Most people haven't been to Hawaii.
So it don't matter if you're like, it's a business trip. Like, no, fuck you. Like, I've been in California my whole life. I ain't never seen Hawaii. This dope. Right? You know what I mean? So exposure. You get exposed to new things, and sometimes it's overwhelming in a sense. But that's kind of what I had told with my father-in-law. I was just like, we charter everywhere we go. So, it's literally the bus pulls onto the damn
tarmac,
bro, and we get off, hop right onto the plane. I'm like, Hawaii coming back was the only place we never did it at. You actually have to go through the term. You charter to there, like just how we always leave from here, right? We charter to Hawaii, but when after the game in Hawaii, you actually have to go through the airport terminal to get onto the airplane.
One time I didn't. One time I did. One time I didn't. One time I did.
Well, unless that's changed. I mean, I'm getting kind of old, so
you guys did okay, so that allowed us more money to be able to charter a plane back home.
I don't think it was a money thing. I think it was just like how they did it in Hawaii.
It's a money thing. It's an expensive ass charter, bro.
I don't know.
It's an expensive ass charter.
I didn't even know it was a difference. I just thought it was. That's how privileged I guess we were.
I'm trying to think. What's the other thing that this motherfucker told me that I'm projecting my own insecurities on my business? Right, I was like,
damn, why you not get mad about that?
I was like, bro, I want something that's a lot more fun. He's like, bro, what the fuck you mean fun?
Yeah,
because you need to be doing the same shit over and over again, really good. That's not fun.
No.
He's like, well, that's like what he's like. None of the businesses that I own are fucking fun. He's like, you want to go into tech? You think that sounds fun? I was like, I watch TV. He's like, exactly. You watch fucking TV. He's like, you watch TV. Guess what businesses fail the most? Tech. He's like, so you're telling yourself a story and you aren't like buying into the work or like doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and just getting really good at that.
Laying the bricks
To where that shit's not fun, but that's the only way. Like it doesn't have to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the end result may be fun.
Yeah,
right? Like winning a championship is fun, but no one ever said the process was fun. And right, you lose that. At least I lost that in my mindset.
Well, if the process is fun, then everyone would be doing it. Because if the process is fun, it's like, oh shit, let's build a bunch of these. This is awesome.
Oh, I can make millions.
I can make millions, and I can have fun. Right, no, you can't.
And then you can create a fun culture, but I've been thinking about this, and then you look at it. Most things are a really boring thing.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over again, pure repetition, and you're just really good at it. And then the end result is the fun thing, right? It's where you could, and like fundamentals, right? And we take it down to like discipline and fundamentals. Like if you just master those in your business, in your life, whatever, you do those things consistently, then you'll get the fun after it. Where like we get the end result is fun. Winning a championship is fun. Making millions of dollars is fun.
Bro, having a business is like fucking being fit. When you look at it, like, how do you lose weight? Like right now, like I'm big, bro, but like I know everyone can be fit. You know what I mean? I know what I need to do to lose some weight. You know what I mean? I've done it before,
and I don't want to.
Right? I just don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
You know, it is not fun. It's not fun waking up early to go on my walk or to go work out. Like it's fucking laying those bricks, dude. Like there's nothing fun about it, but it works. There's a system. There's a system to building out these businesses. It's just the work that you got to do every day. Is it worth it for you? So we can build great businesses. It's equivalent to fucking losing weight. It's doing something consistently, so it's consistent long enough, and then the results of being able to fucking take your shirt off. That's the part that's fun. You know what I mean? So you go to a beach and you can see everybody walking around shirtless, fucking dudes 40 years old, straight yacked.
Shredded.
You know what I mean? But that's because they done laid the bricks for a while, but it ain't been fun. So when you're like, oh man, must be nice, like right picture shit. Oh, it must be nice.
Must be nice.
Fuck yeah, the results are nice. But laying those bricks weren't. You know what I mean? And so that's everything in life. Everyone can be fit, everyone can have a successful business, but not everyone's willing to lay the bricks.
I don't think everyone can have a successful business.
I do. Because the blueprint's out there. So how couldn't you not? If you laid the bricks, you hired the people you're supposed to hire, fired the people you're supposed to fire, and listen to the people you're supposed to listen to, bro, like there's no reason why everyone couldn't have a successful business, because there's no difference between the person who fucking make billions of dollars and the person who's fucking working a regular ass 9 to 5, maybe making $40,000-$50,000 a year. There's no fucking difference.
There is.
Exposure.
Cognitive ability.
No. I don't believe it. I don't believe that.
So I believe in it, right? Just because like there's Elon Musk and then there's everyone else.
Is who?
Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's everybody else. Elon Musk is the only active CEO of 2 separate Fortune 500 companies. Well, I don't know if SpaceX is, but like these are Tesla's $1 billion company. SpaceX is probably $1 billion company as well. Not very many people have the cognitive ability to learn fucking rocket science.
But okay. That's a very specific knowledge.
But
to be fucking rich, bro, like what is rich if you think about it? Like I'm not talking about shitting on people rich. Like everyone can be a fucking millionaire, bro, because it doesn't take much to get there. If you knew what the fuck you were doing or you had the right people around you to show you how to do so.
I think you need to be able to like know how to pivot, know how to lead, have emotional intelligence. Like I do think there are like some things that people lack, and that's why we have personality tests that we give people, because we know they can't do the job.
And when you lack in those traits, what do?
I'll pay someone to go do it for me.
So why can't they pay someone to go do it?
I'll pay someone to show me how to do it, or I'll pay someone to go do it for me. But at the same time, I don't know. I just don't see it. Some people are only meant to pack fucking boxes.
I get what you're saying, and that's just based off of a whole lot of other things, right? The way that they're brought up, the things that they've been exposed to, good or bad. I'm just saying in general, anybody can be fit.
Anybody can be fit.
Anybody can be fucking rich. The only difference is desire.
I'll give you desire, right? Because like the number one most successful people in America are immigrants, right? And like, we can't match their fucking can't match it, bro.
No, you can't.
It's crazy.
And you mix that with learning how to do something, bro. That's success, because they already know what hard is, and so laying bricks to them isn't hard. Doing something every day, bro. Like if their family grew up fucking working in farms and stuff like that shit's hard,
right?
Having a sales training every day for fucking an hour, that's not hard.
No, that's not hard.
That's fucking, to them, that may be fun based off of where they came from. So it'll be easy for them to get rich because they have habits of stacking bricks.
Well, and Alan, right? Alan is a previous farmer, and all of the previous farmers that I've met are wealthy, right? Because they fucking work.
Their work ethic is fucking insane.
Their work ethic is insane. So like, okay, yeah, we have that. I think it's the want, number one. Okay, yes, everybody may have the ability to become a millionaire. Life-changing money, cognitive ability, I think is where it like somewhat falls off on like your ability to like think and pivot and think at a really high pace and learn new skills at a faster pace. So like as we're starting to like go to new levels, like you're talking about millions and millions, and like, oh shit, I want to make 9 figures, maybe $1 billion, and like this is what I'm trying to do. I do think like majority of the startup founders did go to Harvard. Did go what? Harvard.
Oh, probably.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, like,
and that's something. And that's something up front that you've always wanted that.
What do you mean?
Like, bro, like to do like the Teslas and the Amazons of the world. Like those are people who like they've lived their life of like knowing that they were going to do something beyond fucking, having a rental portfolio that makes you a couple $1 million a year. Like these are people who wanted to change the world.
Well, I still think if you can, in a real estate level, you can make a lot of money and you don't have to be smart at all. Like to where there's no barrier to entry. Nobody has any type of education.
Bro, anybody can do this shit.
Anybody can do real estate, bro.
Anybody watching this right now can easily, Mike Zucker says it all the time, go from 1 to 4 units.
Yeah. like if you just focus on it.
Yeah.
One thing that and we talked about this, right? Like wherever your energy is like focused on, if you're focused on the right thing, like you'll make the amount of money that thing should be making, right? So I'm only focused on a $20,000 a month thing. I'm only going to make $20,000 a month. If I'm focused on something that, okay, well, my upside is $1 million a month. Correspondingly, the $1 million a month thing will come and it's the same amount of work, but just like, what are you focused on? Right. So if the people do focus on I think Michael Zuber stuff is so good because it's so easy to digest, and it's like a one step at a time.
Anyone who asks me, like I always refer them to him, just because I feel like there's a lot of people who won't take the risk on like what we did, jumping in wholesaling and just trying to grow from there, and just what I mean. Like that's a lot for some people, who already didn't believe that it's out there. Again, my back was against the wall, so I really had no choice but to just believe it and go. You know what I mean? But for someone who actually has a good paying job, like my mom, right? My mom's an RN. She's good, bro. She's almost about to pay off her house. I'm not gonna be sitting here trying to tell her how to hustle and bustle and do all this stuff. Like, no, like go tune in, go read Mike Zuper's book, One Rent at a Time, because you're gonna have a paid off house, but how much are you gonna make in retirement? Because you're getting close to that point. You're not looking for any extra money at this point in time. How can you use the money that's already in your house to create more wealth for yourself and beyond you? He can teach you how to do that. You get 4 paid off houses, kicking you $1,500 rent a month. That's $6,000 a month right there.
Right. And for most people, that's fine, which is bananas.
Off 4.
Off of 4.
And we're talking about paid off, right?
Like paid off.
So this is like if you're just getting into like the game as a teacher, you got into teaching already knowing like I'm okay with the teacher's retirement.
Salary in retirement.
You know what I mean? Like, so you're not looking for any extra money. Like it would be dope, but like that is your retirement. You're already going to teach for 30 years, right? So go teach for 30 years. Go get you 4 houses, save up some money, go coach some sports or whatever you want to do on the side to get some down payments. Matter of fact, you could buy a house every 2 years. Actually, you can buy a new primary, 5% down, right?
I just don't know how people save up.
You're saving a down payment.
Job. Yeah, for a down payment though, like because that takes a long time. Like for most people, like if you have a normal job and you don't have a
so what is it for 250? Was
I mean for 3%? What's 3% of 250? Maybe I'm not
a wizard. I'm not a wizard, so I need you to do that.
Okay, it's only $7,500.
75?
Yeah, it's only $7,500.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's I mean, it is a lot of money, but it ain't bad. Like, right? It ain't 20, it ain't 30.
I'm thinking like 30, 50, 60.
Like a coaching stipend is probably like 30. They're like $3,700. So you go coach 2 seasons, and then you have back to back. You got enough for a deposit on a down payment on the house, and you put a renter in there. Even if you say you didn't even want to make no extra money off of it. Your mortgage, say you got a $1,200, $1,100 mortgage, rent that bitch out for $1,500 because you can nowadays. Rent it out for $1,500, depending on where it's at, right? And just don't take no cash flow from it, bro. Just pay off the house. So when you get ready to retire as a teacher, now you got 3 houses that's paid off. You're retiring as a teacher. Maybe you make $4 or $5 grand as a teacher in retirement. You can go ahead and make another $6 grand off these 4 houses that you got. Like,
and I would I'd make a plan with that, right?
'Cause 100%. I'm just throwing shit out there. Like I don't
think. But so the next thing that worries me about what he does preach is like he gets them to 4. If you are making mediocre money and you have 4 houses and then you have 3 evictions, that is a very, very possible thing to where you don't have economies of scale to even cover that, and then you're making 0 money for a significant amount of time.
But that's why you're not looking to make any money. That's why it's good if you're not.
Well, you're like losing money. Like,
no. This what I'm saying is if you're not looking to, you still have to buy it right at the end of the day. But if you buy it right and you're able to, you do a whole burr method, right? You're into it. Shit shouldn't break down on you, right? $1,000 mortgage. You're renting it out for $1,500 a month. You're putting $500 a month away each month. All 4 houses. If something happens, an eviction happens, you should have enough in reserve at that point to take care of.
But then we got to rehab.
If something was to happen, huh?
Then we got to rehab the whole thing, right? So, like, I mean, there's like an actual situation where I'm like, okay, at a point in time, I still think you need to learn how to make more money, just because, like, all those 4 houses, and me and Kyle are in a situation with 3 houses to where like our cash flow is gone, and like it doesn't hurt us financially because we make enough. But if all three of those things did that, it still wouldn't hurt us. But I was still like, fuck, like, bro. So I don't think 4 is a good. I don't think 4 is safe. That's what it is. I don't think
for
4,
you.
No, I don't think 4 is. I think for me, 4 is safer than it is for a regular person. Because I can pay all of those mortgage notes, and I don't care. I can fucking handle the evictions. I can handle the rehabs over again, and I have the money on hand to do it.
But I think that's also a reason why people don't do it, is because of that's fear.
I mean, it's logic.
Not really. I mean, like, right? Shit will always fucking happen. We'll handle it when it gets there. If I buy it right and I do what I'm supposed to do when you're talking about vetting tenants and getting the certain tenants in there, and I'm buying in the right neighborhoods, right? If you're a teacher or, you know, someone who isn't looking to fork out a lot, like, bro, we're going to take more risk because we're investors. So we're going to buy in a 6. We're going to buy in 2.8 sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what we do. We know that they're going to come with problems, but we're talking about growth and we're talking about appreciation, all this shit, right? If I'm teaching, bro, I'm buying a house somewhere in Clovis. I'm buying a house somewhere in a B+ neighborhood.
I would put it on Airbnb, honestly. Like, I wouldn't even tell them to buy single family rentals. I'd tell them to do only Airbnb.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I tell them
that'd be different. That'd be different.
Again,
but you get what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna do something that's gonna, like, you're gonna really do something that's gonna limit the risk that you're taking. Like, you're not gonna go buy in the 6, bro, and be like, oh man, I paid off these 4 houses. No, bro, you're gonna have problems buying over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't make no sense. Like, I'm not trying to spend a lot of time on the rental portfolio that I have. So don't go buying in troubled neighborhoods or quote unquote troubled neighborhoods, right? They're great rental areas for people who do this day in and day in and day out.
Right. I'd like to talk to someone who had like a full 9. I mean, fuck Zuber.
Zuber did,
but Zuber was making a lot of money
because he was in Silicon Valley.
Zuber was a really, really good salesman to where even if shit did happen,
he figured out something. Yeah,
Michael was making enough income to where, okay, this hurts, but all of our bills are still paid.
So look where he bought though in 2.8, right? So
yeah, I mean,
great area.
He bought in the 6 too.
Yes, he did. So he was able to take some of those risks in order to scale his. I don't want to speak for him, but just based off of the information that you're giving me, he was able to buy some stuff that sometimes that people who would typically work a 9 to 5, that comes with problems that those people probably wouldn't want. But because he was making the kind of money that he was making, it probably allowed him to be able to do those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then ultimately 1031 exchange and, you know, things like that into better quality neighborhoods. But it helped him get from point A to point B. And then from that point, he was able to clean house and really, you know, focus on the quality of his portfolio.
Exactly. I mean, even for our single families, if we, like I said, if we ever do buy them again, it's only Airbnb and C+ to A areas. Like, I don't want, and that
I probably won't touch C+ for Airbnb.
Right. I mean, I'd say
that's a lie because
Ashland.
You know, the one
Ashland
over here.
Like, yeah, bro, Tower still does really good.
It's like C+. Yeah, Tower's good.
Tower is C.
Yeah. That's why I said I probably wouldn't touch C, but I'm like, I think I got one.
Like, you can have a good block, and then 3 blocks down, someone got shot. Bro, someone got shot in front of Noah's
Tower.
Airbnb and Tower.
That's Tower, yeah.
And that's, I mean,
but people love the character. You don't find that nowhere else. So that's why you can do a C in Tower, because you're paying for what it is. You can't go get a bungalow house somewhere else in Fresno.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so like that in itself, you're almost not mitigating some of the risk, but like that's the risk that you take coming to Tower, is because you want the character. People love to visit and stay in homes like that.
People know what Tower's like, right? Like, if a visitor's coming from outside of
Fresno. No, because it look cute. You know what I mean?
Like, okay, yeah, it looks cute, but then like Noah showed me a video of a dude getting shot in front of his Airbnb.
Bro, we're just gonna keep you north. We're gonna keep you north of Olive. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to keep you north of Olive and Belmont. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna try to take care of you for the most part, but
you got to stay north of Olive, and,
you know. So,
but like, so C areas, and you could do some nice stuff like from Ashland north. I believe.
And blockwise, it really is. It's blockwise, because I've seen a nice house in north of Olive that I've really liked. But across the street, there's like 2 or 3 houses, kind of like, I wouldn't throw nothing on that street. Yeah. Because even though I know that it's a good area of Tower, the people across the street or the neighborhood on that block or whatever is fucking it up.
Yeah.
Because if I'm coming into a town and I don't know the area and I see those houses, I'm like,
All right. What's going on, Cam?
Cam, what's up?
Cam's office used to be our broadcast room.
Oh, okay, he's here.
Yeah, his office is over there.
Oh man,
he moved into an office that's like 2 minutes away from his house.
well, he's with Realty now. Seen
Right? I mean,
Darren
bro,
and Cam Wade post
that real broker stuff is blowing up.
blew up quick, didn't it?
That should be blown up. I don't even know what it's about. I just know that most agents like I'm doing
all I know is that it's equivalent to.
It's like an MLM
No,
with stock
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It's what they get as realtors already, but like everyone knows, like everyone loves Keller Williams, right? And so I think the benefit for it was the freedom. It was like being on a month to month instead of being on a 12-year lease, because now you're able to kind of have your own office. You're able to work from home.
I bet you they have better broker fees too.
Probably. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I knew that was a huge thing. I knew being able to buy into them before they freaking went. Was it live or how they call it on the for
IPO?
That whatever
before they had an IPO,
right? So a lot of people wanted to get in before that took place, because if it does blow up like that, I mean, fuck. Like they said, a lot of real estate agents, you don't get a retirement.
Isn't it bananas that most real estate agents don't invest in real estate, and then they have one of the most lucrative sales jobs in America, and they're around the asset class?
You see people build wealth with the homes that you sell them, and you don't think to yourself like, maybe I should cop a couple of these.
Dude,
your clients pulling up looking wealthy. Oh, what you do? Oh man, I just got a couple of these rentals.
Dude, like it doesn't make any sense. Like,
let me know if you want to buy more. But you ain't gonna buy none.
And I mean, they don't make as much money as I'd say investors, but like you have access to. Like I'd tell you to go to me, Michael, Jason Pritchard, Dino, like anyone else who's in the market. And I'm like, oh, hey, I have a deal. I want a JV and make some money. That again,
if you don't make good money as an agent, it's because it's because you're refusing to grow. There's no reason as an agent right now that you shouldn't be making buku bucks, right? Because at the end of the day, what's one of the things that we ran into early on was like, oh, do you have your license? No, I don't have my license. Some people will not sell to anyone other than an agent. Not sell to, but like sellers. I'm talking about sellers.
I've never ran into
I've had sellers tell me, do you have a license? And obviously as I've grown, I've been able to kind of get around that. But it's usually the older folks sometimes where they're just like, oh, well, if you don't have a license, like this is a scam.
I mean, now you can get around it. Like, I mean, now
not get around it, but I know I'm better at being able to explain exactly the difference between the two and the pros and cons between each way. But I always tell them, like, at the end of the day, I can't convince somebody to sell their home a dime on a dollar. Like, this has to be the best solution for you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you get better at explaining that process to somebody. But I'm just saying, as a realtor, you have that in your back pocket at all times. And then you also understand, like, you know what? A cash buyer will buy this. Before putting it on the market, let me take a shot at it, right? You still disclose you're an agent. I may be interested in it myself. Reach out to somebody, JV it, get a buyer. Boom, you're already making more than what you would make commission.
You'd make way more than you would with commission unless you're like a luxury agent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's wild.
Yeah, if you're a luxury agent, that's
if you're a luxury agent, you can make like really good money.
You're right.
But most of these people listing stuff in, like, honestly, South is shop. You're not making a ton of money.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing high volume.
Yeah, high volume, yeah.
And then, like, it's a thankless job, bro. It's a thankless. You're running around showing houses. Like, if you're a buyer's agent,
it depends on what kind of buyer's agent you is, though. Because you start to get big time, bro. I don't just show houses.
Right? I mean,
there's some shit I need you to do before I take you to any houses.
Man, I've thought about it. I was like, man, how can these people do this? Like, it's a hustle. Like, again, it's like, what are you focusing on?
You go to Cam Wade and be like, hey, can you just take me house shopping all weekend so we can look at this stuff? She's like, are you pre-qualified? And what are you looking for? And how much do you have down? Cam ain't wasting her time just fucking driving people around.
Right. I mean,
so that's what I said. You know what I mean? So it just depends on what kind of like. So let's be real. So if you can call a real estate agent and you can tell them some shit like that and they're okay with it, like, rethink the agent that you just picked, because most high quality agents aren't just driving around with you on a Saturday with, when they got their families, and they're just not doing it. Like, unless you're ready to pull a trigger.
I just want to know why the agent has to go with you. Like, hey, just hop on the phone, call the other agent.
Because motherfuckers is slick. That's why they be trying to talk. They be trying to talk to your client. It's just like sending a buyer you don't know to go look at a deal that you just locked up.
That's wild, right? Because
like if you think about it, like that's kind of what that's like.
Because I'd be like, hey, bro, this motherfucker's gonna be here.
Yeah,
be there.
You know what I mean? Like, but if it's someone like you got Jason going to go look at a house that you locked up or whatever, like I ain't got to be there.
Never.
Like, you know what I mean? Like my sellers is there. I'm sitting a buyer over there. You're going to go take a look at it. One of my partners. I'm cool with it. But if I ain't never worked with you, bro, no, I don't trust him. I'll be there.
Never.
Oh, yeah. He said he locked it up at 60.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he sent it to me at 85. What? Not that would be a problem because I usually, I'm upfront about it. But like, that's just the shit that people that you haven't worked with before, they'll try to pull shit like that. So.
Oh, yeah. You got anything else, bro?
I don't, man. We can make this a quick episode. We don't.
40 minutes is still a decent amount of time.
It is. It is. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? What you got going on this the rest of the week?
I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow morning.
You going to Phoenix?
Yeah, I'm going to Phoenix for a self-storage mastermind.
Nice.
So I'll be there from tomorrow till Sunday. Then I think I come home and I just fly out to Austin for 2 days.
Okay.
And then after that, I won't go anywhere until I go to Ohio and then Orlando. Huh?
You said you're going to Arizona?
I'm going to Arizona, coming home.
Texas.
And then I'm going to Texas. Then I'll come home. I'll be home for 2 weeks. And I'll go to Ohio, then Orlando.
Who's self-storage mastermind you going to in Arizona?
It's called Storage Rebellion.
I've heard of that one. You went to that one already.
Yeah, that's the one we're a part of.
Yeah, okay. The mastermind, is it every quarter? So you and Kalani will be going to that?
Me and Kalani. Honestly, bro, Kalani spearheads that shit because I've been so busy.
That's fucking awesome.
Right?
I was listening to a different podcast and they had Chris Root and his wife on there. And they were talking, kind of just talking about just like their journey and just how they attack stuff. And I was like super juiced, you know what I mean? And because, I'm looking to start doing the same thing, me and my wife. And so going to just getting around people, doing the things that we want to do and just really exposing her to that stuff too. I think I think that's the next step for us. So for us, it's going to be like for her, she's going to be the one comping everything. And so getting her in a space with people who just do that shit all day, every day.
Have her read Unique Ability 2.0.
Unique ability for what? I got an idea, but
just so she knows like what she's good at, right? So she can really like be operating in that and not doing things that are heavy.
So we talked a little bit about. So my wife is a learner, and so it's funny because we had a conversation about it. And her last pregnancy, right? Our last baby we just had in January, she was finishing school and she was pregnant the whole time. And so I believe in kind of what we were talking about, like, so right now when she thinks about like reading or listening to a podcast, stuff like that, I think her pregnancy was just so tough with being in school that she almost despises it.
So
because she was so exhausted, you know what I mean? And so
now it's something you care about though.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah, she went to school and that's awesome. And like, she cared, but it's a lot different when you can like, now you can truly think of something and I can go learn something. And like I said, I can learn something, I can implement it. And then, oh my God, guess how much money just landed in my account?
For sure. So I don't think you even use it as an excuse. And I don't think she used it. She didn't even bring it up.
I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's a different switch, right? Because school sucks ass.
So we were in the car about it and I was listening to something and she always kind of just gives me, a hard time. I like, just put on some music, you know what I mean? And so like, that's one of the things that we kind of just like, you know what I mean? And so I kind of pushed back on it and just really trying to like, why is this how you respond to it? And as we were just talking about it, I was like, you know what? Like, I honestly think it's because you were just it was so hard for you towards the end that just the thought of it, like you despise it, you know what I mean? And so then we did start listening to it and just kind of talking about some of the stuff. And I'm just like, but just try it now because you're not so exhausted. You know what I mean? Like, and so like she's, coming along with that. And so I think that for a long time, it was like a mental barrier for her because just that pregnancy was just so tough on her and being in school. And it wasn't something that she just thoroughly enjoyed.
The school thing is so hard because like you can't school's not helping you solve your problems. Like when you're reading now, right? You're looking for something to help you grow more, whether it's in your relationship, your business, whatever it is, right? So like you can find very, very specific knowledge to be like, okay, I'm going through this. Like, hey guys, who has a book on this? And someone's gonna raise their hand.
Yeah. And I said with school, you didn't have me. Like I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? But like this, you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're like, this is us together.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference. Like this is something like me and you get to spend time with each other and do and just like kind of bounce ideas around. Like this is fun actually.
Right. And it becomes a lot more fun like when you're actually like growing something for your family, the wealth for the kids. And like you can see a light at the end of the tunnel. Like school doesn't even paint the vision for you, right? Like you're still at fucking school.
And that's why I want to do the masterminds with my wife, because I really want to get around like people. Like one thing it really stuck out to me when Chris Root and his wife was talking about like not their goal, but like what are they looking to get to? Like how far are you looking to take this? And like the answer to that was just like I authentically love what I do. Like there's no end here.
Right. Like
this is like a hobby for me. Like I really enjoy chasing deals. So it's not like I get to 10 million and like, oh, okay, we're cool, we're done. He's like, this is what I like. This is like fucking Tom Brady playing fucking football. Right, except my body doesn't dictate how long I get to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, I thought that was fucking awesome because I'm just like, how amazing is that? That you get to do something that you genuinely like love to do, that you get excited for every time. Jason posts it every time whenever he gets a DocuSign. Like, bro, that feeling doesn't go away.
No.
It's just like your first one. It's just like, even if you got 10 of them, you got 12 of them in a month. It's like, fuck yeah. Every time it comes through, fuck yeah, they signed. Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so like, that's to me, that's fucking awesome. And so just listening to that, I think it brought a little bit more excitement to me. And just really thinking like, man, I got to really get my wife out, you know, and myself.
The brother masterminds have been an absolute, I know I preach this like every time we talk, but they're an absolute game changer. Like you're just going to, and you see what's possible, right? Because like there's only, our circle's really like close knit and like everybody's doing really well, but then you see someone else like killing it, doing something else completely different, and how the relationships are, all these other amazing things that you're going to see.
Yeah.
And then bringing your wife along, like
it's gonna be awesome, bro. Like it's gonna be dope. Like, bro, they even got you thinking about homeschooling your kids. Like, shit, you take your kids with you, homeschool them, now teach them what I want to teach them. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's
some real life shit.
And homeschooling now is like a must for me. Like, they don't get homeschooled.
Yeah.
For the rest of us.
I've never thought of homeschooling until I listened to them, and I was like
paying for
because when you think about a lot of the mental things that we have to work through as business owners now,
from school.
Where did it come from? It came from school.
It comes from getting molded.
So like, what if I never even let them be molded that way? Like, you know what I mean? Like owning a business is like normal because they've only been around business owners their whole life. So why would they think about going to go work somewhere?
And I was blessed that way because both my parents were entrepreneurs, and then like our family members are entrepreneurs. Everybody like around like my neighborhood, because there's country as fuck. Everybody was a tradesman.
Yeah.
Right. So like, oh no, he does tile. He's a plumber. Oh, this dude does excavation. So it's a lot different. And I don't think a teacher should be telling my son how to think. Where like, I don't like. It's like,
and it's not a bad.
It's not a bad thing.
That's so hard, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Because I have like the utmost respect for.
Right, and bro, you were a teacher.
I was a teacher. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so hard because it's just a different lifestyle.
It's completely different, and I truly do think school shows you how to work a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, school. You go to school to be an employee,
and there's nothing wrong with being an employee.
No, because we need you.
And I mean, like you can pick something that you love to do, but my son can always go do that. With the things the way I can teach my son how to think, my son can always go do something else.
Bro, go build out this business and then go be a teacher.
Right, you can,
because it's way different doing something that you love to do when you're not relying on it financially. Like, go be a vet, go be a nurse, go do those things if you really love. Like, you know what I mean? Because those are nurturing people.
Yep. So
go build something that takes care of your financial needs, and then go do what it is that you're passionate doing. If that's just at that point, I don't need to go teach and to go, you know, I don't need to go get a credential and do all and get hired to teach. Like, no, I'll go be an aide. I'll go volunteer. I'll be a volunteer at the school.
Then let's go help the kids. Because
now I'm doing it because I just love to do it, and I do not need the money. I want to help kids.
Yep.
Like, to me, that's a whole different purpose. You know what I mean? So, because as teachers, sometimes you do get burnt out. You're like, fuck, this shit ain't worth it. But how do you get burnt out when
and
you're
teachers have an amazing soul, and I do think all of you should make way more money.
100%.
All you should make
100%.
Bro, way more money. Like I want the best. Number one, I think there needs to be more capitalism in teaching, just so people strive to be the best teacher ever. Right. And then it's like really competitive of like, no, I'm trying to grow these kids. Like I'm trying to show these kids really
when you talk about putting your kid doing homeschooling with your kids, like who are you going to go hire? You're hiring a teacher.
Oh yeah, I'm hiring a teacher.
You know what I mean? And you're fucking paying them to teach what they really believe in. Because most teachers sometimes they're teaching things that they don't necessarily believe in, but like this is what they're told to teach. You know what I mean? So now you're able to go out and find someone who has the same type of theories and thoughts as you as a parent, and you get to pay them to come teach your kids, and you can pay them what you believe is reasonable.
And it's one-on-one. To where and it's 3 hours out of your day.
Yeah.
And yes, let's say it's 5 other kids, but they get the attention that they need. I'm stupid as fuck, right? I needed that attention.
Yeah.
Like nothing stuck at all. Period. Like I was almost like failing all my classes throughout my entire life. Yeah. Like nothing made sense. So where now if you have like a lot of help one-on-one, like to where when I was in college and I got tutors, it helped me out a lot.
Oh, for sure. It
helped me out a ton.
Because there's one thing that you learn about being a kid, man, is you learn how to avoid shit you don't like.
Yep.
And when you're in a classroom with 25 kids, it's easy to kind of just go below the radar, look at this paper over here, look at this paper over there, just to get an answer, and not because you want it, you're that type of person, like you're a manipulative type of person. There's a whole nother thing behind you copying off of other people, because first and foremost, you don't know.
Yep.
You're too afraid to ask because so many people around. Maybe you got anxiety, whatever that may be.
Right. You don't want to look stupid.
You don't want to look stupid and getting bullied and stuff like that. So you just slide under the radar. And next thing you know, you're a senior going out into the real world and you really ain't learned shit. Hopefully you run across some great teachers like I did in my life that actually like calls you out on it and sits down with you and actually gives you that extra time. I think I was blessed to have great teachers in my life. You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's so hard for me sometimes to talk about it. But you take all that away now because now your kid is getting that attention and they don't have to feel like they're stupid by asking a question or because they need more time. I need you to ask questions.
Like you need to ask as many questions as humanly possible, because the only way you're going to even be successful in life now is by asking really hard questions, curious questions, like what's going on here, what's going on there. You can only
do that in a one-on-one setting.
You
can do that in another school, but let's be real, like everyone has those one.
Kids are fucking shit.
Kids are assholes. You know what I mean? Like that, like they are, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like my kid has a question and like now he feels like he can't ask no questions no more.
Right? Because he got gas.
Because he got fucking gas. Now his joke's gonna be A1, but he didn't learn nothing. You know what I mean? So I've never been one to think about homeschooling, and this ain't even the conversation me and my wife has ever talked about. But like as I like go through like pros and cons of it, it's like shit. Like I never would have just even thought about it until listening to that podcast.
Yeah, to me now it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer. How's the YouTube money, bro? Everything by John asks. I don't make no fucking money off of YouTube.
On YouTube, bro. I don't make
no goddamn. I make zero money off of YouTube.
We ain't got no subscribers, bro. We ain't got no views.
Hey, if you want to sponsor this podcast, hit me up. Right? We'll start making money. I mean, but in all reality, I make money off of my brand through different ways, like with affiliates and everything else. But YouTube's a long game, dude.
Yo, 100%.
YouTube's a long,
and it takes a lot of time. If you want to like start making money off some YouTube, bro, like I mean, you talk about you got to have businesses that's already built out, so that you can spend. So you can spend like Ryan Pineda. I think he did awesome with it. But again, he built out a brokerage. He built out his flipping side of it. So he's making money. And now he's focused on different streams of income. So he's able to.
And he's just going in and talking about his businesses, right? So like it's built out, it's automatic content to where that's a lot different.
So it takes a different type of focus, I think, to have to do that.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, how's it going, Kim?
My mom says, hi, Michael. And my mom says she misses me. Miss you, Mom. I'll see you soon.
You're awesome, man. I really enjoyed meeting your parents.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll take my family to Utah one day.
And then
we've never been.
You've never been?
Never been to
right now.
I've been to Salt Lake.
Now, right now is the best time in Salt Lake.
But we're in a hotel, so I just remember like not seeing black folks
at all.
we were in the hotel, and I remember we were looking around. I was looking out the window of the hotel, and I was like, "Damn, there really ain't like no black folks here
at all."
And I'm like looking, I'm like, "Oh wait, there goes some." Like, that's Fresno State parents. I was like, "Damn," but culture shock, right? Like,
bro, I mean, I had a culture shock when I came to Fresno. Let's just say that
it was just to be like not too many, but it was.
I mean, I grew up with Tongans. I grew up with Tongans and whites, but I didn't grow up with black people. I didn't really grow up with Mexicans. I grew up with nothing. I get the fucking locker room. And I'm getting molested. Right? I'm getting roasted every minute. Like, like, are we fucking fighting? Like,
they're just bullshit. You know what I mean? So I thought that was like that was a awkward place. Not awkward. It was just different. So I don't want to say anything like that's derogatory. It was just different than my norm.
My kid Zeno will not be raised in Utah, right? Like we go back and forth, and
that's good for him.
And it's good for him, right? But he'll be in a much more diverse place. But I love everything. Like I love going out there and spending time with my family.
Yeah. So we might pack it up and just be like, hey, babe, let's go to Utah. Where are we going? We'll figure it out when we get there.
Hit me when you guys go. Hit me up. I'll go.
No, yeah.
Great show. Stacking the bricks analogy to succeed was gold. Thank you.
Appreciate that. I wish I knew who you were. I wish I knew who you were, man. So we could just really just give you your blessings. I really appreciate that.
All right. Well, we got an extra 10 minutes of content out of that. That'd be good.
Yeah.
But I really need to go to the bathroom.
All right, let's get it, man.
Too much water.
I get it.
All right. Tie this thing up, my man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for tuning in to the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. If you would like to stay in touch with Stratton and myself, follow us on Instagram. And please be sure to subscribe to our Free Agent REI Podcast YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up.